All right. I think I got her muted. All right. Hey there, everybody. Welcome, welcome. This is Leadership Lab. And we are my co-host or my actual like the host of the call, Aaron Gadu, is not here yet. He's trying to get online from Costa Rica, having a little difficulty. We've had some challenges, but he may be coming on. Looks like he is now on in the co-host. So we're going to call him in just a second, but I'll go ahead and relieve him from being stressed. I'm sure he's a little stressed. So I was just talking. Hi, Aaron. Yay,
Hey guys,
you're here.
sorry about
Oh
that.
no,
I
it's
apologize.
totally cool. I was just saying,
Having a little connection issues with it.
I was just saying I was going to relieve you for a moment and go ahead and get started. But hey, you're here, you know the topic, and so go for it, and then you can keep it nice and short and sweet because I got all kinds of good stuff to cover. Go for it.
Nice. Well, welcome everybody tonight to Leadership Lab. I'm glad to have you here. It's nice to see so many people on the Zoom tonight. Just so the purpose of this call. Alex and I will. I'll be hosting it along with Alex. My name is Aaron Cadieux, and I'll be hosting it with Alex Sabatili-Reger. If you guys don't already know her, she's been with LifeWave for close to 2.5 years now and has tons and tons of experience. So we have two calls. Oh, four. Sorry, I apologize.
Oh no,
I
no, we're good.
apologize. We there's four calls that we have right now. So there's two of them on Monday nights and Wednesday nights. So the one at 8 o'clock Eastern on Monday and Wednesdays, Alex hosts those, and those are specifically about X39. The product, and also she also talks a little bit about the business. So if you have anybody that's really interested in understanding about X39 or wants to understand a little bit about the business also, you don't feel fully comfortable about explaining it, get them on this call. It's really a great call with Alex, and she can really explain it. And then we have two other calls. So we have this one, which is the Leadership Lab, that we're really helping people go from the team manager to director, helping you kind of organize your business and make sure that you have the right tools in place to go to the next level. And then the other one we have on Wednesday nights is Launch Lab, helping people go from trying to get to team manager. So there's lots of calls, lots of information, and we really want to empower you as much as that we can. So Alex, why don't we jump into it? I know you kind of have some things that you kind of want to jump off with tonight, and then we'll ask everyone to fill in some questions. So the big thing that we've been challenging everybody the last couple of weeks is, if you're on this call, please throw a question into the chat. That's the purpose that we're here. We're really all learning from each other. And Alex is just she's just got so much information. So if you have any questions about anything, please just throw them in the chat. It really helps everybody else learn and grow their businesses also. So Alex, why don't you take it from here,
Yeah,
and then I'll keep on prodding everybody for questions.
perfect. Yeah, just poke them. Awesome. And stop me when I start rambling, please, because I can do that. Okay, so those of you who got on here early had a little sneak peek about what I was going to talk about today. But there's so many different topics, and I actually pulled out an old book on network marketing just to see what might inspire me, and I just kind of flipped through it to see what source wanted to point at, and events just popped up, and I thought, this is how I build. This is how I build my business, is with events, small events. And this is how I create managers and beyond, is by doing small events, whether they're virtual events on Zoom or they are events in person. They could be a wine, just sitting over wine with a few friends, inviting one of my new customers that's getting great results to invite some friends, or it could be at their house. But of course, with the pandemic, that I was already doing Zoom. I was living remote at the time, and so Zoom was just something that was already in my back pocket. So when everybody went to Zoom, they got a little burnout on Zoom, but nonetheless, I was doing those on a regular basis as well. So there's many different ways to gather people. So the idea here is, how can I leverage my time, create a sense of community, camaraderie, excitement, enthusiasm, share testimony, ideas, enthusiasm, why would I want this? All of these things merge together and can create its own synergy and its own energy that can really propel and launch a business and keep a business moving forward. And so they're really, really fun. And although I would say most people, I don't know. Let's go ahead and ask you guys in the chat, raise your hand or say, yes, that's me. If you are afraid of public speaking, because public speaking for many people is like, no, no, thank you. It's just like the last thing you want to do. All right. And you can tell me if people are saying, yes, that's me. Or you could say, no, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid. Because honestly, public speaking, and this
Yeah.
isn't public speaking. This is just a group of friends. It's a group of friends. And you're sharing something. And so let me share a little story. The first time I ever did it, first time I ever got in front of a group of people, it was actually, I think it was led by God or source or whatever, however you speak to that. And I had been doing this nutrition program. I was pregnant with my second child. I was at the gym and people were watching my belly grow and they were watching the abs shrink from 6 to 4 to 2, little muscles. And they were all watching my abs to see if they'd all go away. And then I had my baby, and then they were watching them come back. And they're like, what are you doing? How in the world did you do that? And of course, it was the nutrition I was doing. And so people were starting to ask me, like, what are you doing? How do you stay healthy? How did you get so fit? I've been complaining about my baby fat for 20 years, teach me, teach me. And I thought, maybe that's what I should be doing. Maybe I should be, maybe that's my calling besides being mom. So I started in that direction and I got certified in the way that I was eating. And then I was one of the first certified teachers of this way of eating. And and I just had an entrepreneurial seizure and decided I'm going to open my own studio and teach people in groups how to eat this way. And I became a trainer, and I'm like, and then I'm going to roll them into a training program so that they can then get fit afterwards. Because I knew if you don't take care of your nutrition first, anyway, long story. I literally went and rented a place, a little studio in downtown Grass Valley, California, and decided this whole business model. Started working with a coach and thought, I'm going to teach small groups of people how to do this. I got certified. I had this 4 lesson, like 2 hour lessons for 3 weeks, and then an hour lesson on the last one, measure ins, the whole thing. Had I taught it yet? No. Had I sold it yet? No. I had a whole group of people that were interested in whatever I was doing. And I said, I'm going to talk about blind faith, you guys. This is prior to any network marketing I'd ever done. This is just God leading me into this direction. So I stand in front of so anyway, I do my first presentation, which is horrific, terrifying, but people already were kind of sold because they knew me. And then I get them in the room and I stand in front of them. There's about, I would say about 12, 13 people sitting there. I had painted a screen on my newly painted walls in my studio. I had a new PowerPoint. I turned the thing on and I turned green. I mean, sick, like sick. I felt so, like I really honestly felt like I was going to throw up. I mean, it was just like I knew the material. I've been living it for years. I knew the people, but they're all sitting there looking at me. And I just was like, freeze. And I started to fumble through it. And I realized I've got 2 hours to go. And I told myself, girl, you have 2 hours to go. This is not about you. This is not about you. And I just heard like this voice. These people are here because of the information that you have that they don't have. This is not get out of the way because you got 2 hours ahead of you. So just like step aside and let me speak. And I just released and I went and it started to come out and it just flowed and it was great. Long story short, my first network marketing opportunity came about maybe a few months later than that. And it was the first opportunity I had to have a supporting product that would support my clients that were literally just going to come in and learn and then be gone. Like it was just time for dollars, right? I could train them for a little while and they were going to be gone. And I realized I had this opportunity to leverage to actually sell something that they could continue to buy. And a year later, I closed that studio because of the opportunity of the leveraged product. And I'd gotten over the speaking issue. And lo and behold, I became a trainer and I started speaking on stages and doing all these things, not because I'm so great, but because I just knew from that first experience that I was just a few steps ahead of the people that were in the room. and that they wanted the information. It had nothing to do with me. And that if I learned enough and felt like I could deliver what I learned, it was more than what they knew. And that's all that mattered. So I didn't expect all that to come out, but I just, for some framing, do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. It's so, so important to just be willing to connect and to share your story and so on. So all that said, tell me the results of what people said, and then we're going to get into how to do a really simple presentation in different arenas. Can you hear me? Are you there? I can't hear anything. Uh-oh. Can you hear me? All right. Maybe I'm just on there. I think you're just frozen. So,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh, am I? Sorry.
there you are.
Yeah.
Let me see what we got. Did we get any chats? Let me see what's going on with the chat.
Yeah. Yeah. Just a few people saying that they were a little bit terrified, and Jane saying that we need a patch for public speaking.
Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome? Well,
Mhm.
actually, I would say if I were to choose two patches
Yeah.
for public speaking, it'd be Eon or Aeon, however you want to say it. And
Yeah.
39 for sure. Yep, for sure. That is so funny. Okay. All right. So I know that was a lot of story, but I guess I want you guys to know that, like, yes, I love training now. I don't mind being on screen and all that stuff and being on stage. And I have spoken in front of thousands at this point, but it happened in a very short period of time. And it was because I stepped aside, because my ego stepped aside. And I knew after that first experience that it was not about me and that I was really just being a vessel. And I want you to see yourself as that and to recognize that to the person that you bring in, that you're offering, like, let's say you have a customer that's getting results. This is a perfect example. Who do you know? Maybe we can get together, and if you live close or if you're friends or you met in a group of friends, like really, really look, who do they know? Do they have influence? And you can literally ask them when they're having results, who do you know? How can I help get this information, or how can we work together to maybe get this to other people? Are you willing to share this with other people? First of all, are you excited enough that we can extend this to people you know? So this is going to come after having a sense of, you've got this customer for a little bit of time, you've been following up, you've been building rapport, you have maybe some sense of what's going on in their life at this point because you've been building relationship with them. Again, step 9, there's all the natural selling and there's all the great questions to ask to build that rapport and to learn about them. They may not be ready to do the business or sell the product, but they still are a portal to more people. There's still an avenue to meet more people. And so in fact, I'm working with a gal right now. She's just loving the product. She's getting great results. She's talking about all these other people. She's like, I really am not interested in making money or doing any of that stuff, but I love people. And if I can gather some friends, let's go just do a wine and wellness. I'm like, great, let's do it. She's just like, I love you. I love how this is working. And I trust you. And so building that front end rapport, knowing what's going on in their life, getting a sense of their sense of influence with the people in their world. Are they willing to share? Do they have that heart of service? This is part of our follow-up. It's a relationship business. We don't have to manufacture the product, sell the product, deal with the money, and all that stuff. We build the relationship and we help educate. We help lead them to education. That's what we do. And so those are the skills that are the most valuable to that is what is your asset in terms of this business for you. So really work with that. How can you build that influence with other people? And how can you help them to see and trust that you with their people? Right? Erin, I'm going to pause right there. What do you think of, like, I'm just putting you on the spot, but in that vein, what does that bring up for you in terms of building rapport and relationship with people?
Yeah, and I'm just going to give you an example of just one of my friends that we shared the patch with. He's really been enjoying it. One of the things for him that he's been getting, because he's a runner, been combining X39 and X49 together, we know he's kind of got a large network of people that he works with, and when he finds something that he loves sharing it. But
Oh, he's gone. We're having issues with his, all right, and I don't know that it was even recording his face. All right, hopefully he'll get back on. I'll just go ahead and continue on and then we'll catch up with him. Okay, so with all that in the background, so you have a customer who's willing and interested in gathering a few people, even if it's just a couple few. This could be in their home, this could be in a cafe, this could be over lunch, this could be even in your own home if you want to do that. I used to do stuff in my own home a long time ago before online Zooms and all that. Certainly, if wine is an okay thing for you, you can do it over wine, coffee, whatever. You choose a venue that's comfortable for you. It could be at a park. It could be over, yoga or after a workout or, any kind of thing. Find a little venue where you can have just maybe a half an hour. You really don't need more than that because I'm going to show you how you can present and where you can find presentations. But more likely it's going to be more of a conversation and gathering information and getting people's whether you gather their actual orders or just information from them to get them send them to the sites and things like that. That's going to be a level of your comfort. So let's say that you are comfortable actually presenting X39 to people and you're willing to do that. So the two places to go, and last week I could not find the presentation for the life of me. It's on step 5. The presentation that I do after this call and on Wednesdays as well is on step 5. You can literally download the PowerPoint. You can play with it a little bit if you want to make it your own, rearrange it. That's kind of what I did for mine. But you can download it and utilize it straight from there. There's another presentation that I actually used to use that you can also download from your back office under resources, under marketing. And it looks like this. It's not shiny like this, but I printed it. I pulled this out last week to talk about it just briefly. This is one that I also had recorded as, YouTube on it using this particular older version. And it was the introduction of X39, and it has these pretty slides. And it's a really easy way to walk through how it works, what it does. And you can take out the new, like you could take the word new out and like you can download it and take that word new out of here too, right? But it has just a little bullet points, simple little bullet points to walk through and talk about all the things it does. I love this. And you can get this again in your back office under, where did I find it? It was in the back office. I don't have it open right now. It's called LifeWave Introduction English. Basically, it's an introduction to LifeWave. And I love that one. I love that one. It's beautiful. It's super simple to go through. And it's great that you can just bring it over to, your local Staples or Office Depot, whatever, and have them print it out for you. I had to lay it out and I pulled it down as a PDF and I had them print it on 2 sides correctly and put it in a spiral thing. I think this cost me like 10, maybe $20. I'm not sure. I don't remember. Maybe it was like right in between that. And I just printed one for myself and one that I could just have on the table for them to flip through. I've used this in other like trade shows and things too, when I've done a couple of those, like, tables. And so really, really simple. I actually really like that one because it's so simple to walk through. But again, you don't have to know all the details. You can just kind of walk them through it. But the whole idea of doing this is to share your testimony, share your story, and to ask what's going on with people. So how I would typically do this, instead of just going straight into presentation mode, I just want to make it really casual. So how do you guys know each other? Tell me a little bit about yourself. What's happened? So if there's 1 or 2 things that you could change or improve about your health, what would be at the top of your list? That is my main key bingo, ding, 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 ding question. If there's 1 or 2 things you could change or improve about your health, what would be at the top of your list? Maybe somebody wants to type that into the chat. That question right there, and then you go around the room and ask people to share. And as they say, oh gosh, well, honestly, it would be this and this. And I say, well, tell me a little bit more about that. If you're comfortable, tell me a little bit more about that. And you can do a little bit of dialogue with each person. If there's just a few people in the room, and then they start talking with each other about stuff. Oh yeah, da 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 da. And I'm always planting seeds about who else do you know, or who I know, or some testimony that I have, or a client that I have, or a customer who's been challenged with that. Obviously, I can't share somebody else's testimony legally. I can only say, oh, I have somebody who's worked with that. Be happy to get you on the phone with them. Or, oh, yes, I know somebody who's this, or I personally have had that. So once you've kind of gone around the room and you just kind of discuss what's on the top of people's list, then you can say, all right, let me just show you how broad how broad this technology works in terms of helping your body be able to heal itself, how it improves your body's ability to heal itself in all of these different areas. And then you just go through the little thing, and it does this and it does this and this and that and the other thing. I don't know all the details, but let me show you on my iPad, on my phone, on my computer that I brought with me here. Let me show you the website that has all the extra details where you can go down the rabbit hole, should you decide. But in the meantime, I have a few that I can sample here. If you want to fill out, and you can literally create like just a piece of paper that just says just your name, address, your name and your phone and your email. If you just want to sample and you want, I can follow up with you and I'll send you the website, yada, yada. Here it is. If you're ready to get started right now, then you just walk everybody through, just do one quick little presentation on how to get started. If you need how to do that part, you don't have to talk about the business, but you can also say, if you want to learn a teeny bit more about getting started in the business and another overview of this, I also can send you a replay from one of our weekly calls that we do. So literally, you're sharing your story, you are talking, you're getting everybody's concerns, you're doing a light presentation of what the product is, you're showing people how they can get started if they want to, where they can sign up for more information, and if they want also to learn a little tiny bit about the business, or if they want to move forward with the business, to set up some other little piece there, something else to send them, whether it's one of my presentations or something on the site, or you just want to set up a call with them. You can set up a 3-way call with your sponsor or something like that. But the only thing that you need to learn how to do, literally, that might be at all scary, is how to just walk through this together and read the slides, or the other one, or the one that we do every week, and just literally read through it and say, you might have some questions. There's more information on the recording that I have. I'm not really meant to be the expert. I just want to show you how amazingly and like all the cool things that it can do. And then you go from there. So that's what I wanted to present in terms of how simple it can be. It's got a few steps to it, but once you've got that together in a little bag, then you can start to offer this to your customers that are excited. Who do you know? Let's get together. Maybe we can just group together. And I think it's worth it with 2 or 3 people, the person who's already on the product and 1 or 2 more. And it's perfectly worth your time. Perfectly worth your time. So let me, I just got a note from, I think, Aaron. Yep, his internet signal is just not holding out. So that's fine. So that is what I wanted to share. And I know that went over, but I'm going to go ahead and start to open it up. Let's see here. Let me get my chat up so that I can see. Lonnie, if you want to do a little step in here, I wouldn't mind that, but let me just see what I got here. I can't get, I just need to grab my chat. My chat is not clear. And by the way, if anyone wants to raise their hand, I think that might be something else that I can do as well. But I just need to, oh, here we go. Chat.
Alex, this is Maria Sangria. Can you hear my voice by any
I can
chance?
hear you, Maria. Yes, I can.
Okay, great. So I called in, so I wasn't able to raise my hand. So
Oh, gotcha.
my question is, whenever you've had these events, did you call it like a introduction to X39 patch and party, or what did you actually call it?
You know what? I didn't most of the time. So if I actually did if I was like presenting or building into my own event that I put on the calendar, then I would give it a name and I create like some sort of a flyer. But that was like in the past. I really haven't done that with LifeWave. Honestly, with LifeWave, I've literally just asked my customer to just invite a few friends over. and let them know that, that I'm going to be there and that we're going to talk about health and all kinds of stuff, and that she's excited or he's excited about a product that they're using. So it's really not even a titled event or an event, if you will. It's more of like, let's just get together. I want you to meet this gal, and I want her to tell you about this product because there's no way I can explain it, or whatever. I'm just so excited about it. So it's more like just a gathering. It's sort of it would be kind of, if you were going to title it, it would be like a lunch and learn, or a wine and wellness, or a health something. Like, you can name it something if you want to, but I didn't want to turn it into an event that people would then feel like they're obligated to something. It's more, it's a warmer, lighter feeling about it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that explanation. And then you schedule it for about 30 minutes. Is that what you were saying?
Typically it'll go about an hour, but in terms of my time, I only want to be, I don't want to dominate the whole evening. So 30 minutes is my time. I just want to introduce myself, get to know what they're about, and then say, hey, this is the product. And honestly, in terms of using this is a great crutch getting started. I don't use this as much anymore. This is more of a backup that I can have on the table. People want to flip on it. If anything, for me, I just kind of listen to what they're saying. And then I knowing all 9 main areas of what it does, I just kind of personalize it and say, well, because it does this, it'll tackle what you said and what you said, and that, and these 3 other things. And it's really just systemic, and, happy to show you where you can learn more about those things. But honestly, you're not going to want to wait to get started. You're going to wish you signed up tonight. So that's usually how we get started.
Okay, I'm going to go back on mute.
Okay.
And thank you so much. All right.
You bet. All right. Let me see this. Okay, so questions. Let me see here. For longer questions, okay, go off. Okay. Do your clients share their testimonies? Absolutely. And yes, sampling, yes. So I'm always prepared to sample when I get information from them to follow up. If I have a customer that's doing this and they've invited the people, I've prepared them. I say, I will bring you some sampling envelopes if you want to sample a few of your product. I let them go ahead and be vested in sampling their product. Of course, I can do it myself, but I'm not there to enable anyone. I want to show them how to do that with their own product. This is why they bought the silver or gold or what have you. And so they can sample with their own. I also let them know if you want to sell 1 or 2 of your packs, if you have extra packs, or if you wanted to upgrade to a higher volume of packs, be ready for that. And because some people are going to want to start right away. So that's just a conversation I have with my actual customer first, so that we can be prepared to either patch people or sell product right there. And then I also have order forms ready. I have that something for the people to look at that's ready. And then I also have health trackers ready to show them, like and that's a great other pointer. Like, look at all the different areas that we track to see what's happening. You could just print out a couple health trackers. Even if you didn't have the presentation, you could show them that and say, this is something we give to people when they get started, to show like all the various ways that things can change and shift. I mean, who does that? And I say that, I'm like, who does that? What company puts their product in the hands of their customer and gives a whole checklist of things to look for in terms of results, let alone a whole list of side effects? Nobody does that. That's exciting. And that to me really puts a lot of faith into people when it comes to ordering right away. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Okay, guys. Hey, questions. You got some more? Bring it on. Okay, what would an agenda look like for that's what the agenda would look like. I think I walked through that. For longer questions, yes, no questions there. All right, I've heard you say not to overpromise, and I so agree. How do you share in person that this works for everyone, even though they may not feel anything? Yeah, this has just always been part of my verbiage, because I purchased it without an expectation. So there was kind of like an embedded belief that there's nothing to expect. So maybe that was an advantage in the beginning, because I don't make decisions based on other people's testimony. That's just not how my mind, I mean, it's a nice add-on and it's important, but I always am like, awesome, that's great. Show me the science. I was just kind of that type of a person. So, so how do I do that? I really just say, I don't know if you're going to feel this right away because your body's got its own unique way of falling apart, and it's going to have its own unique way of building itself back up. And the order of difficulty is innate to you. And your lifestyle, what's breaking you down and what's going to build you back up is innate to you. So I get excited about the journey, and I tell people that I'm excited to see how this shows up and in what order for you. We have a few parameters that are important. Of course, having a few foundations like, lots of water, trying to get good sleep, having some basic nutritional foundations are going to help, because even though we're turning back on how the body can heal itself, if you don't have the media around you for it to pull from, the vitamins, the minerals, the nutrition, the copper glycinate, if you don't have that in the body, then it's not going to be as equipped. It won't be able to pull from, the medium. It's kind of like you have cells in a petri dish. You can reactivate those cells, but if the stuff that's in the petri dish is toxic, like a fish in a fish tank of dirty water, there's only so much health it can get, right? So that everybody varies. And so that's kind of a little bit of a discussion, like depending on you and your lifestyle and the way you think and the way you eat, this is going to reactivate your cells. And I can't wait to see how that's going to show up. Definitely no guarantees you're going to feel it in 24 to 48 hours, but definitely I will guarantee that something is happening in your body in 24 to 48 hours. That's what our science shows. And over time, we guarantee this product for a reason, because we know it's going to show up in some way. Let me get this health tracker for you and we will track it. So that last little piece is what answers your question, but the background of it is important because that needs to be a part of your understanding and belief, so when you express it, it's really understood by the people. And they truly, I don't have anybody come back to me and say, I didn't feel it ever. It just doesn't happen. And it's in the way that I deliver it and in my understanding that I don't expect anything in 2 days. When they text me and say, holy crap, I slept all night, my first night, I get just as excited as they are because I don't expect it either. So understand that. I'm not disappointed when they don't feel anything for 16, 17, 18 days. I'm like, hang in there, keep drinking water. Did you get the copper? Are you, like, it's going to work for you. I have no doubt whatsoever. That's what the science shows. But it looks like you needed a little bit more support than we might have thought, right? I hope that that's thorough enough of an answer. Let's see. Okay.
Alex, this is Maria Sangria again.
Oh, yes.
Well, I wasn't sure what I just heard you say. I heard about the water, but did you say you have to have copper?
Copper glycinate. Yeah. And that's something that I talked about that in the last lab. I think it was in the last leadership lab. We talked about that. So this is just something that David has said many times. The GHK goes up, and I say this also on my calls on Wednesdays and Mondays and Wednesdays. The copper, the GHK goes up within 24 to 48 hours. That rises in the bloodstream right away. And then it binds to the copper in your body. So again, that medium has to be in the body in order for the copper to bind to it. Most people have enough copper, but a lot of people are taking a lot of zinc, and zinc actually lowers the copper amount, or it kind of counterbalances or counteracts that. And after the whole pandemic, a lot of people started really heavily loading, especially during the pandemic, on zinc for their immune system, but they didn't know anything about copper, and that they really work on an axis. So it's important to have 2 to 4 milligrams of copper, and copper glycinate is the particular form that David Schmidt recommends. It's about $10 a month. I just tell people, make sure you're getting 2 to 4 milligrams a day of that into your body. So you have that in your body for the GHK to bind to create the copper peptides. Also, same with the X39, AHK copper peptides bind to copper as well. AHK goes up, binds to copper. So it's just, again, basic foundational nutrition. Most people have enough, but if somebody's not getting results, it's likely because they don't have enough circulating copper. And so it's something to just know. And so whenever somebody orders, for me personally, I just decided to let them know. Really important to make sure you have enough copper. Just, if you have a great supplement, awesome. If not, just make sure you're getting 2 to 4 milligrams in, especially if you're taking zinc, more than 15 milligrams of zinc. This is all kind of nutritional. I know he's not teaching it, but they're coming up with the 2 formulas that'll be released really soon with LifeWave, the daytime and the nighttime formula. They have all the support. They will have the copper in there and everything else that we need to get the most out of all the patches. So that'll be coming out really soon.
Oh, good. Okay, well, thank you. Can you please spell that second word? You're saying
Glycinate.
copper something.
Yes.
And what? Okay.
I'm
Can you spell it for
right
me?
now, glycinate, and it's trying to correct. And the one that I usually get, it's just off Amazon. It's $10. It's pure encapsulations. Yeah, I don't get anything for it. I'm just saying it's a good brand.
Okay.
Okay, I just put that in the
I'm
chat.
on the phone, so I can't see the chat. So is it GLY?
GLY. Yeah, GLYCINATE, glycinate.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Yep. Okay, thanks for sharing in a call recently. I have someone with early signs of RA or lupus, in her 30s, lots of pain. Her X39 patches are on the way. I told her to grab that supplement you shared while she's waiting. Okay, beautiful. That's great. Okay. How do you awaken someone to give 90 days a real go? Oh, well, it takes 90 days to turn over all your cells in your body. Do you want to give them the best shot? Heck yeah. I mean, this is like age reversal, guys. Like, okay, so 4 to 12 weeks for the collagen to go up, 4 to 12 weeks. So how many, like that's like a month to 3 months. That's just for the collagen to go up. And that's the growth factors and stuff. So that's the most abundant protein in your body. Would you not want to give that a go? Right? The stem cells, producing more stem cells in the body. Actually, here's what you do. Go over to startx39.com. You guys know startx39.com, right? And then go down to experience the benefits, how it works, when to wear it, what to expect. There's one that says the first few days. Okay, that's why we patch a couple. You may or may not be a one patch wonder and feel it, but there's a quote right there. Within 1 to 3 months, physical changes occur. It talks about that in the collagen. Within 3 to 6 months, active stem cell repair. The pluripotent cells turn into any cell you need. Within 6 to 12, we're talking some big age reversal. So again, you can either buy the little envelopes for sampling that have these stats on there. You can lead them to Start X39 and just say, listen, if we reset the body to start acting younger, it's going to continue to act younger. And as that happens, everything, it literally cascades and gets better and better. It's not just a one-time thing. That would be miraculous. It took a lifetime to break down. It's going to take a little time to get back up there. But 90 days to me is an absolute must go. All right. Let's see. Glycinate, got that. This is good. You're welcome, Angel. Okay, we are at 4:40. We still have five more minutes, 10 more minutes. If you guys want to fire off anything else, hopefully anything else about holding a simple event. I hope that you're inspired to do that. I'm telling you, it will create managers like bam, 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 bam. Once you get it done and you do it a couple of times. So I have 2 people right now that are actually setting this up. Oh, here's another one. Oh, I was thinking about this earlier. So I have a customer right now. We just followed up. She's been on the patches, I want to say 2 months, about 2 months. And so I called up and I was like, hey, your auto ship's going to be coming. It was 2.5 months, something like that. Your auto ship's coming up pretty soon. And just want to see how things are going. I know it's been a little while. And she says, oh, well, I went to my chiropractor. So guys, I'm telling you, ask them, are you doing any, when people are telling you about their ailments, ask them, what are they doing? Are they seeing anybody for it? Are they seeing any other alternative people? Are they doing any physical therapy, yada, yada? Ask them, are you doing acupuncture, acupressure, anything? And in this case, she was like, yeah, I was talking with my chiropractor and telling her how great I was feeling and yeah, blah, 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 blah. And she really wants to meet you. And I was like, yes. And I'd already talked to this gal and we've been trying to get a little event together with her, a couple of her friends. And she says, I talked to my chiropractor about you. and she really is interested in learning about what the heck I'm doing right now. And she and her husband's a dentist. And so I'm trying to get those two, and then I'm going to grab my other two friends, and we're all going to get together. And so I planted the seed with her early on about getting some friends together, and that, percolated. And then once she talked to the chiropractor, she knew that I would be willing to do something like that. So don't be afraid to just put it out there. Just say, hey, if you ever want me to come and meet with any of your friends or your doctors or your alternative people or practitioners, this is what I do for a living. I love this. If I don't have the answers, I will get the answers, but I'm trying to reach as many people as possible because people are suffering. And you know people, and you have people who know people that can help with that. You don't have to do the business if you don't want. We can always have that conversation later. But if you would be willing and open, if you trust that I would be able to get that information across, let's put something together. And it could be a lunch, it could be a wine, it could be whatever, whatever you're comfortable with. If you go to church, it could be after church, a breakfast, whatever. Whatever's comfortable for you and your style or their style. And so that was something I definitely wanted to bring up. Like, who are you seeing for therapies and so on? Also the hair salons, right? Have you noticed hair growth? Has your hairdresser noticed, or your barber or whatever? If they're noticing hair growth, you want to make sure they're talking to their hair person about it. If their skin is different, do they get facials? Who's doing their facials? If they do that, if they're getting body work done, are they talking to their massage therapist or their physical therapist or their physical trainer or their personal trainer, whatever. So you guys have to think outside of the box to get to the people who know more people. And that's how you're going to build. All right. And then you can also offer to talk at gyms and things like that if you really start getting excited. Okay. I heard it overpromise. I so agree. How do you share a person that works with everyone, even though they may not feel anything in a few days? I do that all the time. I think I covered that question. I just say, look, I'm going to give you a couple of days of patches. I don't expect you to feel anything. You might be a one patch wonder. Maybe 10% of people feel it right away. Let me know if you do. That's awesome. But the reason I want to give you a couple of days is because you're going to get a glow up in 24 to 48 hours. Your genes are going to reset to a younger stage, or to a younger, basically they're going to re-regulate to a younger age. And I just want you to experience that, whether or not you feel it, while you learn about it. And then I'll give you a call and we can talk about it. I just wanted to gift you something. And what this does, you guys, psychologically, it is a law of reciprocity. You're giving somebody something, you're agreeing that to try it and to learn about it, and then you're going to follow up about it. But I tell them straight up, I don't expect you to feel anything in 2 days. That would be really awesome if you did. And some people do, but most don't. So don't hang your hat on that. But honestly, especially when they're not expecting it, most people really do feel something, whether it's just a little bit extra sleep or a little bit more energy, a little bit more clarity. But I don't want to set them up, for failure on that. Okay, last one. Thank you for sharing on a call. I have someone with early. Okay, we already got that. Why do the patches stop working after 12 hours? I guess they don't stop working necessarily. It's just that your skin and all the residue and the goo and the growtiness starts to it makes it not only not so clear, but also not so sanitary. So I'm not sure about how long the patch stays actually fully active in terms of the crystals and what they can do. Because I know you can also wear it on top of, like, so long as it's in your biofield and it's not, like, you can wear it on top of like thin clothing. Like if somebody has an issue with the adhesive for some reason, which is so extremely rare, but if they do, they can put it on top of something. But like you can put it on the fur of an animal close to the skin, but not necessarily directly on the skin because it's still close enough. But I think it's more about sanitary reasons and for people to not get rashes. You certainly can't leave it on more than 12 hours without it starting to overstimulate the skin. And then if you peel it off and try to stick it somewhere else, it's not going to hold and it's got dead skin. I think it's more just gross. And so, I mean, it's made to be one per day to get best results. That's what all of the studies are done on, and that's just how I sell it. So if somebody wants to use the second one somewhere else on their, or the old one somewhere else on their body and put a fresh one on and try to get more out of the old one, by all means, go for it. Yeah, 24-hour charge, right. It's not recommended to save and wear the next day because you lose track of how much time. Correct. And the sun goes up and the sun goes down every 12 hours. This is meant to be worn like the sun, like the light. You're supposed to be stimulating for 12 hours and resting for 12 hours so that you have the proper attenuation. You don't want to like mess up your circadian rhythms either. So it's the same kind of idea to get a nice rhythm going. Everything is in rhythm. All right. So guys, it's 4:47. I'm going to be wrapping unless somebody has one last rapid fire question. I would think that we got things covered. We actually covered quite a bit here today. And so for whatever reason on the Facebook group, it's not really it's not reaching a whole lot of people, the post. So we're going to kind of troubleshoot on that. I think they're going to work on that. But in the meantime, if you will go back, if you guys that are here, just please go back to the Facebook group, make a little post about Leadership Lab if you got value out of this today. Again, I'm doing this for you guys. I don't get anything for it, just, besides helping you guys build your teams. But hey, Leadership Lab was great. Make sure you guys get on this call, whatever. Post a question for next week. You can either do this on the post from today's, or if you want to take a look at it, I think it's not going to be posted until early next week. But that feedback is going to help more people show up, and then we'll just be able to learn more from each other's questions. That synergy is really, really cool. And I'm going to be doing a call right after this, actually, in about 10 minutes, about the product and a little bit about the marketing plan, my usual Monday and Wednesday calls, the opportunity meeting. So if you want to hop on off and grab a few people, do your 331, get that one on there, that would be fantastic. I do all the verbiage in there. I cover all the basics on the product and stuff. So that might help you guys with your own verbiage as you're building. And then I'll be back again on Wednesday with Aaron and also with Melissa for the Launch Lab. This is for all your new people that are going from 0 to manager, the basics on getting to manager. We won't go into so much around presenting and some of these next level concepts, but those calls are going to be continuing on moving forward. So thank you guys so much for being here. Super appreciate it. Let me see if there's anything else. One last question. David says, okay, that was it. All right. And yeah, so thank you for your energy and for interacting with me here tonight. And I will see you guys really soon. I'm just going to turn off my video and mute out, but I will still be staying on and just sharing screen in just a moment. So thank you all so much. Have a great night.